What's up everybody, another beautiful day in the Dragon Isles. Today I wanted to showcase a few potential M+ builds going into 10.2. What possibilities has opened up due to the talent tree rework as well as the new Primordial Wave tier set. Now keep in mind this is PTR, so things can change, and this is not a guide on how to play each build or what is the best. I'm just showcasing enhancement potential. Now starting off with the Storm side of life, due to the new tier set, Stormcleave was looking fairly dead on arrival. However, the recent talent reworks have opened up options for this as well, with both the regular Stormcleave as well as Doominova for those who enjoyed that playstyle. So Stormcleave would look something along the lines of this. Again, take everything with 8 to 10 grains of salt, as these are by no means 100% what you will play in 10.1. This build has several flex points that you can move around depending on group comp or what dungeon you're doing. Stormblast, Windfury Totem as well as Storm's Wrath can be moved around. Stormblast and Windfury Totem are mainly for the single target damage increase, as this is what Stormcleave suffers the most from. But you can, for example, skip Windfury and take Sundering instead, giving you more AoE damage, especially in conjunction with Doom Winds, but you also get a very good AoE interrupt or incap. Now the playstyle of this build is pretty much the same as current Stormcleave. Generates tons of Maelstrom via Crash Lightning and Windfury procs, spew out Chain Lightnings with the occasional 6-target Lightning Bolt from Primordial Wave, which you'd run due to the set bonus, which gives us a extremely chunky burst cooldown on AoE, as well as more nature damage due to the wolf it spawns. And of course, in between we'd be spamming them Storm Strikes, praying for Ascendance proc so we can live out our Sith Lord fantasy. For bosses and single target, you'd be back to only spamming Storm Strike and spending Maelstrom whenever you need to reset Storm Strike, praying for more Ascendance procs. Now we can run both Storm Blast and a new Tempest Strike talent, giving Storm Strike a lot of value on single target and a big contribution to our boss damage. So yeah, do be slapping them Storm Strikes. So yeah, pretty much like it is on live right now, but with a few minor differences like Primordial Wave. But you should have no problem doing relatively high keys, but it suffers the same pitfall as it does on retail, which is it does great AoE, but there's little to no funnel from it, and its single target is very RNG, so can be extremely good or depending on what procs. That being said, this isn't really an issue until you get to very high keys where funnel is a lot more valuable, where you really need to burst down certain priority targets. Now the Doom Nova build isn't something I'd necessarily recommend, but it is a lot of fun to play when you're doing very big pulls, and I know there are a lot of enhancement shamans who just likes to play it. Now it does very good uncapped AoE for being enhancement, but it really underperforms in single target if there are no additional mobs. So it really does require you to have a lot of targets to get going, and really at that point it's just a for fun AoE machine. But yeah, overall it performs kinda like it does on retail, and there are plenty of builds out there better suited for doing keys, but hey, fun is subjective and it works. Now swapping over to the Elementalist side of things, a lot of potential flex has opened up due to the talent tree rework, allowing us to really tailor our build to whatever dungeon, target count, or group comp we might have, want, or need. So just like the Storm build, the playstyle will largely be the same as it is on retail, but with more frequent bursts, since Primordial Wave will be on a minimum 24-sec cooldown when we get the new 4-set bonus, allowing us an insane uptime on Splintered Elements haste buff, not to mention the burst dam from the lightning bolts. So what has changed is mainly the selection of extra sprinkles we can choose from. Yeah man, sprinkle some more single target Maelstrom generation, man. So looking at one M+ build leaning more into AoE damage using the buffed Legacy of the Frost Witch that increases frost damage by up to 25% to get the slappiest of frost sharks, but otherwise pretty cookie cutter Elementalist M+ build. However, you can move 2 points in Legacy of the Frost Witch and consider them flex points. Same with Lashing Flames actually. So you can for example put 2 points into Elemental Assault and 1 in Elemental Blast, and all of a sudden your single target damage increases a ton, making bosses melt faster, and you're able to funnel and burst down prio mobs faster than ever due to being able to fit Elemental Blast with ease. You could also go for only 1 point in Elemental Assault, reducing your single target damage slightly, and put it in Windfury Totem or Sundering if you want more stops, or even back to Lashing Flames. So like I said, our tree is pretty damn flexible right now. Ooh, so flexy. We can lean more into full AoE, more single target, cleave, mix, anything in there between, while always doing extremely good AoE/cleave as well as single target. It's really just what you want to lean more into. Heck, we can even go full Omega Pepega funnel build with Fire Nova MDI style. I mean, it will for sure slap to high heaven, but that one requires a tad more setup, group play, and group coordination, so perhaps not in a weekly key with randoms. Or do, who am I to judge? Side note, even though this is mainly focusing on M+, the same is true for raid when it comes to Elementalist and most builds I showed. Now, depending on encounter, when ads spawn, how many, as well as damage increase phases, all of which there are plenty of in the new raid. So it's great that we can tailor our build for that. Now, as things stands right now, it is a very good time to be enhancement, and I'm not talking about will we be god comp meta? Potentially, but also potentially not. But just from a gameplay perspective, the old gameplay loop, and the sheer amount of fun it is to play in both M+ and raids, enhancement is in the best of places right now. Well, apart from Wind Fury Totem being an even more awkward point to take, as we lose a ton, and it should be baseline at the very least. Come on! And there's also a potential for a no Wind Fury weapon build where you'd rock 2 Flame Tongues to proc elemental weapon talent, and use that Wind Fury point for something else, which is a real potential if Blizzard doesn't squash that, which I think they do. I really hope they do, as that's just dumb. Please fix. And that's pretty much it. Mostly wanted to showcase some build potential for enhancement going into 10.2. Now I will make full guides for the builds once we know what's the best and how to play it. Now if you have any questions at all, hit me up in the comments. You can also become a patron or a Twitch sub, get access to the Stankie Discord, can also get shoutouts and videos, things like that. Don't forget the usual stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.